Hey guys, Chris here with ClevelandGod. We're gonna do a second edition of this. We're gonna do the Week 2 preview for NFL. We got a lot of games here, and as always, we like to introduce my friend ClevelandGod here.
Yeah, what's up, everyone?
Yeah, we're looking forward to an optimistic Week 2, and we just wanna cash like everybody else. So without further ado, let's just get right into it, right?
Sure. Let's just talk about our lineup last week that we put together. We put one together at the end of the video, like we're going to do again, and put it in the Sunday Million for fun, and it scored 137 points and won $60. So it was not terrible, for sure.
That's right, man. That's double up money, man, and that's all I care. Anyways, let's we could go game by game, but I like to go position by position. It's a little faster, a little more productive. So let's do that.
Yep.
At the quarterback position, we have we only have one guy over 9K, and then we got a bunch of good 8K guys, I think. Who you paying up for?
If I'm paying up for anyone, I'm gonna pay up for Andrew Luck, but a lot of people on this list seem like they're going to hit value. I think Rodgers, Luck, Breeze, Ryan, Romo, Roethlisberger, Brady, Rivers, Tannehill, they could all hit values. So I think that they're all pretty good plays.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah. I like all those guys. My favorite one's probably Drew Brees, just because his home numbers are pretty ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I saw some stat that he had like over 300 passing yards against Tampa Bay in the past 2 years or something crazy like that.
And they're really bad.
They're really bad. I can easily see Breeze 4 touchdowns, 300 yards.
Yeah, that's totally doable. They're really bad.
Yeah, Mariota lit them up, man. So Breeze is probably my number one option. My number, one option just in general who I think will score the most points. Anyone you like? Oh, and then I really like Romo here, 8.5K. I feel like he's gonna lead the team. I feel like he's gonna be the one to do everything for that team. I don't think they want to center around giving the ball to Randall. I think that you probably could have done it last year with Murray and just kind of focus around your run game, but you can't really do that with Randall. So I think Romo will definitely pass the ball a lot more. I think they'll trust him a lot more. And against Philly, it's completely doable. Their pass defense is horrendous. I think Romo could have a 25 to 30 game against Philadelphia.
I totally agree, and especially since a lot of their run game goes through Romo, whether it's just those screen passes out to Dunbar, which is going to continue to happen a lot, or just those screen passes out to Cole Beasley. And a lot of their run game runs through him. He could easily go for 30. That Philadelphia team is not very good on defense against the pass anyway.
Yeah, and that's exactly my thoughts there. Let's go down to like the mid tier. We'll see if we find anyone really like down here. And I'll just go off a limb. I think I'm playing Palmer. I'm pretty sure I'm going to play him. If you look at his numbers, just like based on last year too, he gets a hefty amount of passing attempts, to 30 at least a game. And if you saw last year and even his last game, he was consistently getting you 2 touchdowns a game, except for the St. Louis game, which was I probably wouldn't play him against St. Louis anyways. But he has some pretty nice passing numbers, getting you looking like at least around 2 touchdowns a game, 7.8K, especially against the Bears. The Bears look pretty bad. Their defense is still bad, so I think Palmer can have a really good game against Chicago at 7.8K. It's a pretty good steal. I like him a lot.
I agree. That is a very good steal. The only issue that could be is that Chicago could continue to run the whole entire game through Matt Forte and try and slow it down, but I don't see any reason that he won't hit 16 points in value. Very good. I think he's a very good play. Sam Bradford at 7,500 is also a good mid-tier play. There's almost no way Sam Bradford's not going to hit 15 points. He threw the ball 50 times last week, something a little over that. Even if he sees that go down, it's going to go down to 40. He's still going to hit 15 points. There's almost no way he doesn't throw at least 1 touchdown pass and 250 yards. That would be a bad game.
Yeah. And one more thing about Palmer, they don't have Ellington. So I don't think they want to rely on Chris Johnson to pick up some yards for them in the run game. Chris Johnson ain't the same Chris Johnson, so I think the
CJ2K is locked away somewhere. He didn't look too bad when he was running last week, but I completely agree. There's no way that Carson Palmer doesn't hit value. Basically, same thing with Sam Bradford. 16 points for Carson Palmer would be a pretty
Yeah.
poor day, I think.
Those are two of my dudes right there. Let's go to the bargain bin. Let's all the way down in the dumpster. See if we find any good
Hey,
value.
there's some gems. There's some gems down here. Don't call it the dumpster. Only Johnny Manziel belongs in the dumpster.
That's right.
From the
But
Browns fan.
I love Nick Foles' price against Washington. Seeing what he did against Seattle last week, I was not expecting him to get anywhere close to 18 points. 6.5K against Washington. I know they look good against Miami, but I'm not buying that shit. I think eventually they're going to get exposed. I think Foles for sure can expose that defense. 6.5K is just way too cheap for his talent, I'm thinking, man. I think Foles is definitely a strong candidate to be in my lineups. What are you thinking as your value?
There are two really good values just on the screen. Andy Dalton below 7,000. Like, hello, like he's gonna get 13 points. Almost, it's not a playoff game. It's not playoff Andy Dalton. Like, he has to throw for like 190 and a touchdown to hit value. I'm almost guaranteed. You could be guaranteed Andy Dalton's gonna do that. And then 6,300 Tyrod Taylor. Again, him not hitting 12 and a half points would be ridiculous. It'd be a terrible game.
And one more thing about Andy Dalton, he's playing against San Diego. That San Diego Detroit game got really pass heavy in that game. I think the same can happen here. Rivers versus Dalton, and what's it called? Fucking Cincinnati. Dalton still threw for 35 passes, even though they were killing him on the ground. So I definitely think Dalton, he can get past that 40 pass attempt mark, or at least stay around 35. I think he can have a 2-touchdown game, maybe even reach that 300 mark against San Diego. So yeah, I'm on board with Dalton as well.
And we got to go down. We got to go down all the way. You got to go down. I gotta at least shout my dude out down here at 5,700.
Or
You know who I'm talking about? We're talking about Kirk Cousins right here.
I'll tell you talking about
Seattle.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, man. What a I feel like this might be a steal, but 5.7K.
Just
I'll let you talk about.
Kirk Cousins has the potential to go off on any given week. Kind of like Nick Foles, just a little bit worse. He could easily go off 300 passing yards against St. Louis, 300, 350, 400. I know Russell Wilson did them pretty dirty. Kirk Cousins could easily go for like 150 yards, or you go for 400 yards. There's really not much in between. You just can't really tell what you're gonna get. That's why he's 50. That's why he's 5,700. But there's almost no way I think that he won't hit 11 points. I think this is a game you could look where he could get 250 and 2 touchdowns, depending on how much they lean on Alfred Morris.
True, and and Morrison, man, he's picking up a lot of touches on the offense, man. I didn't think he would rely on him so much.
Yeah, 121 yards last week against a really good Miami front seven. It was really surprising.
Yeah. I probably won't play Morris until he gets in a weaker matchup that will convince me, but still get to keep an eye on. Kirk Cousins definitely has that 300 pass potential that he could easily get on any night. So I'm with it. I can dig it.
Let's move on. Quarterback is so much different than last week, where last week it was you're either playing like Tyrod Taylor or you're playing like Matt Ryan. Now it's like you could play anyone. You could find someone at almost any value. It's almost like a plug and play position this week, which is really different from what it usually is.
Yeah. Let's go to running back. So let's start from the top tiers. I'll let you begin. Who's your top tier back? Like, if you have to pay up, who are you paying up for?
Well, I'm not paying up for Jeremy Hill, that's for sure. I could definitely pay up for Marshawn Lynch this week after seeing what Matt Forte did to Green Bay. Their run defense looks really soft. Although Matt Forte was kind of the whole offense like I expect again. So Matt Forte is also a decent play. Arizona's run defense, it's pretty good. You could definitely say it's pretty good. I think either of those guys are good plays.
If I have to pay up, I'm with you, Marshawn Lynch. I'll have to wait for Peterson to have a breakout game before I can touch him. I definitely think he would be able to do it against Detroit, though. But I'll have to wait to see it. I like Lynch, man. I don't know if I'm throwing him in my lineups yet, just because he's slightly expensive. But if I go Foles, I think I can definitely fit him in, and I really like Marshawn Lynch this week. I might have to fit him in, but there's a lot of value in the running back position. So let's looking down.
One more thing is I think Jeremy Hill again is kind of a stay away zone. You know, he did not do good last week. If you really look at the numbers, they're not giving him that much work. If he didn't get those 2 rushing touchdowns, he's gonna maybe he either gets one, he gets a 12-point day, or he gets none, he has a 6-point day. So I'm kind of staying away from that right now. I still think
DeMarco got a revenge game, so I do think he'll probably go off. Like, I don't know, man. You don't like DeMarco. I saw the little trash can meme that you put of him.
Yeah. DeMarco Murray team photo is just a trash can of him. But anyway. Yeah, no, I'm not playing DeMarco. I'm not really a big fan of that backfield yet. It almost seems more like a committee. I think Darren Sproles he's so good. DeMarco Murray is only a 2-down back. That's what we have to remember. And he's not the goal line back, so he has so much limited value. I think 8,300 is still too much.
But I think he's going to do it, though. But I'm not going to play him. Okay, let's go to value backs. Well, not value backs, but more down the upper tier. I would call it the upper mid-tier, I guess you could say. But we got Mark Ingram here at 8K. Kind of floats between mid-tier and, elite. Ingram gets a really nice matchup here against Tampa Bay. He didn't do much on the ground against Arizona, but like I said, Arizona's rush defense is pretty legit. But he gets a lot of passes out of the backfield, man. Brees does not like throwing to his receivers, because who does he have out there? Just Cooks.
Just Cooks. That's all he really has.
Yeah, and he did. And Ingram and Tavares Cadet got a lot of passes out of the backfield too, but Ingram's a 3-down back. He can catch out the backfield. He's going to have a lot more rushing yards this week against his really soft Tampa Bay defense. I expect a rushing touchdown, maybe 5 to 6 catches. I can definitely see 100 yards. I think he's going to get a lot of production this week. What do you think?
He's playing Tampa Bay. That's kind of all you have to. Bishop Sankey scored a touchdown on them, and God knows the last time Bishop Sankey scored a touchdown on anyone.
He scored 2.
He scored. Jesus. I turned that game off once it was 21-0. I fell asleep watching it. It was just so bad. Oh, God. That was terrible. Other mid-tier backs, obviously Ellington's out. You could go Alfred Morris. He's got okay matchups. I really don't like running backs for St. Louis.
Yeah.
He could hit value. D'Angelo Williams could hit value. He's a little overpriced, I think, off that Monday night game. Eddie Lacy, of course. I don't believe he got 100 yards last week, did he? It was close.
No, he just got a cheap ass touchdown.
Yeah, but Eddie Lacy, he's almost always good for a 100-yard rushing game. He's playing Seattle, who didn't really face much last week in Benny Cunningham, getting 16 rushes for like 45 yards.
Yeah.
So I'm on the fence about Lacy. I don't think I'd play him. I wouldn't play D'Angelo, Lamar. You could play Lamar Miller. There's not too much there.
I kind of like Lamar Miller, man, against Jacksonville.
It's like every week that you should like Lamar Miller, he's terrible, and every week you don't like Lamar Miller, he does something. He finally fucking hits the
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. I like Forsett a little bit. I know you don't like playing against the Raiders, but I feel like he's just gonna get I feel like he can have a good game, man, against just because Flacco, man, that team has no receiving options, man.
I really don't like passing quarterback. I really don't like quarterbacks against the Raiders. I like tight ends against the Raiders. That's about it. So I think Forsett's a good play.
Yeah, I think. I remember you saying about the running backs against Oakland. Oh no, you said why?
I said Jeremy, don't play Jeremy Hill because of the committee, and he's so overpriced. And then I said, don't play AJ Green. Whatever you do, they're gonna shut him down. And he got like 6 points.
No, that's true. I misinterpreted what you said. My bad. But okay, then I like Forsett, man. I think he can have a pretty good game against Oakland. Both their safeties are out, so against a better team that has a better passing offense, I would actually consider like a quarterback because you have Taylor Mays back there, man. That's a guarantee. Somebody's going over the top eventually.
No, I completely agree. Their pass defense is pretty much shot. I'm still I'm focusing tight ends heavy against Oakland because they've been horrendous against tight ends, and it just seems how many points did Eifert get last week?
20, man. He went off.
Yeah. Tyler Eifert got 20 points against Oakland, guys. I don't need to say much more. He's not a bad player, but he's no Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah, he was on 4 p.m., man. That guy's a beast.
Yeah.
Forsett, though, I like him. Let's keep on moving down the line here. Let's talk about some good value here with Carlos Hyde at 7K, man. 7K, not bad at all after seeing what he's capable of. Pittsburgh's front seven does not scare me at all. They're probably better than Minnesota. I would probably give that to them, but still, Pittsburgh's front line is just are a bunch of young players. I feel like San Fran has a they were just pushing everyone off the line against Minnesota. They look pretty damn hungry, and I think Hyde can just have a really good game like he did last week. I don't know if he'll get 2 touchdowns. I feel like he'll get 100 and a touchdown. And they're so power run. They're just a power run team. They just love to run the ball. And I think that's what they're going to stick to because I don't think they want to put Kaepernick in situations where he has to pass. I think they would much rather have Hyde just run the ball. So Hyde's probably my super value at 7K. That's a thing.
I mean, I think Hyde's a good play. I think especially after like Deion Lewis got 12 points against Pittsburgh, I believe for the Patriots. Like, yikes! Like that's not top tier name. And Carlos Hyde looks pretty damn good.
He does, man. Put me up. I know you don't like those black uniforms, but I kind of like them.
Those things are ugly. Those black uniforms are ugly. They made the linemen not look fat though, so I don't know how they did that.
I think it's the helmet that doesn't really complement it. I think they need a black helmet with some gold outlining or something because it just does not look good. But
yeah, it looks kind of weird on TV for sure, in my opinion, anyway.
But you're a bigger fan of the Jacksonville helmets, right?
Jacksonville versus Carolina. That might have been the worst uniform game I've ever seen on like that. That was by far the worst uniform game I've ever seen. That was just so bad. They just look. I'd rather watch Bowling Green State with their fucking shit ass brown, burnt orange. Anyway.
Yeah, let's back on track here. We got Chris Ivory. Questionable. I think he'll play against Indy. Indy, man, they don't have got a good rush defense, man. They allowed 2 rushing touchdowns last game by a committee, and McCoy was tearing them up.
Yeah, McCoy still looks really good. I don't know what I'm getting with Chris Ivory because the Browns' defense looks so off. They couldn't tackle. They couldn't tackle my little sister driving around in a Barbie Jeep. It was just that bad. They were that bad. Chris Ivory looked like Adrian Peterson in 2012.
Yeah. That's crazy. I like the numbers, man. I feel like he's going to get every goal line carry, and I feel like the Jets can get to the red zone, and I think Ivory can work some magic and get a touchdown or two. Indy just doesn't scare me at all. I think Ivory can have a really good game.
Indy's run defense has always been pretty poor, and it doesn't seem it's changed that much. But I'd rather go at 6,700 with Doug Martin, who got all of his points on one drive before he basically did not see the field again last week. Yeah. And I don't see Tampa Bay being down 14-0 at 4 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first quarter. So I think that they got it. If Doug Martin is not running the ball and they are not wasting time and just handing Doug Martin the ball, they're going to lose by 50, which I don't think they're going to try and do. So they have to get the ball to Doug Martin.
I remember that drive because he was getting 5 yards of carry and then a 20-yard
5 or 6 of carry. What he finished, might have finished 7 carries for 50 yards, something like that.
11 for 52, I believe. That's 11 for 50, which is still 5 yards of carry.
Yeah, it's just below it, but yeah, 4.8. I don't know. This is not math hour, guys, but
let's round it off.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I kind of like Randall more. It looks like they're utilizing him in the pass game, and they gave him 20 carries last. How many? Not 20. How many did they give him last week?
They had to be around 15.
16. Yeah, 16 carries. Not bad at all. I don't. The Phillies' rush defense isn't too. I mean, it doesn't scare me. 6.7K is a pretty good value. I feel like he can have a 10 to 15 game, maybe somewhere around there. I think he can have a decent game.
There's not too much below this. Maybe Tevin Coleman again, but.
Tevin Coleman, man.
Devontae Freeman's back. Devontae Freeman. Worst spelled name in the NFL. I'm sorry. He's back. He played last
Coleman
week.
Still got 4 yards to carry, right? Coleman still got 4 yards to carry, didn't he?
Yeah, he played really well, and Coleman looked terrible. I think that would be an understatement.
You think Coleman looked terrible?
Or not Coleman. Sorry, Freeman looked pretty terrible, but they just kept handing him the ball. I don't think we're going to see much change from that, so I'm not playing it. But I think that's if you're looking for someone to throw in somewhere because you need a $6,500 spot in a GPP. I mean, Coleman could get a touchdown and 60 or 80 yards, 100 yards running. Like he could break a 60-yard touchdown run. If you're just looking for someone like really, really deep sleeper, that's my guy.
Uh-huh. Sorry, I just got an email from somebody asking for college football lineup. What's it called? I like Sankey a little bit. Just seeing what Cleveland looked like against the run. I think Sankey can have a pretty good game, 6.5K. Good value.
Yeah, yeah, and Amir Abdul at 6,400. Minnesota looked terrible, and that Detroit passing game is it's kind of a shell of what it used to be. I think I don't think Calvin Johnson's the player he used to be. I just don't think he is. I don't think Matt Stafford's the quarterback he used to be. I don't. It just doesn't seem like it's clicking there. There's just something wrong. So I think like Amir Abdul is going to have a pretty decent day again. Maybe I mean he could get if he gets another touchdown. You know, he might get 14 points, 80 yards rushing, something like that. So that's not a bad day.
Do you like Danny Woodhead? I know a lot of people are like flocking to him.
No, it's basically the same thing as like trying to play Ryan Matthews. You know, the backup in Philadelphia.
He does catch a lot of balls out of the backfield. I do like that.
Right, but there's no way he hits value again. Like that's kind of like maybe a twice a thing season. Like twice a season thing. Like I don't think he's gonna hit value again this season. Maybe once more until his price goes back down to like what Roy Hallou's used to be, like at 5,500. Like he's kind of like a Roy Hallou out there. Like he might get a goal line touch. He might be like the third down back. He'll catch some passes so Alfred Morris doesn't have to. So I just don't think he'll hit value.
Let's go to the wide receiver section. As usual, we're gonna just break down what we like. Pay up. I will pay up for two guys here, and I want to fit them in my lineup.
I think you mean three. You meant three guys. Look at those top three dudes.
Okay.
They're all bad. These are bad men.
I don't know, man. Amukamara is actually not that bad. I don't know.
No. I mean, like bad isn't good.
No. I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm talking about Julio, like Julio Jones against Amukamara. I feel like you'll get a slight dip, so I'm a little skeptical. But I'll talk about the two guys I like for sure. And I mean, obviously Julio, you could probably play him every week.
Yeah.
But I love Antonio Brown just because he's so damn consistent, and he's gonna get 10 catches. He'll most likely get a touchdown and 100 yards, and he's gonna.
He does it every week. I mean,
yeah, he
it's
does.
Kind of like clockwork at this point. You don't have to watch the game to know Antonio Brown's going to get you about 20 points every week.
And you kept on seeing Mike Wallace just split open every single against the freaking Niners, man. I feel like Antonio Brown will do that 2 times as better. I feel like he'll have a way better game. The best corner for the Niners, who I actually really like, a good up and coming young corner, Tremaine Brock. He's probably going to have a task with covering him. So he is a young corner. He's actually not that bad, but against Antonio Brown, I'm taking my bets on Brown. I think
Antonio, they're going to do everything. If Antonio Brown, for some reason, doesn't have it going after the first quarter, they're just going to start throwing screens his way. He's going to get a block or two and break these huge screen pass plays like he always does. He's crazy good, and there's no one more consistent at any position other than quarterback other than Antonio Brown.
And man, Niners gobbled up Adrian Peterson, so I'd have to imagine that they kind of gobble up D'Angelo Williams. I think that they would have to pass more. So Antonio Brown I'm probably trying to stick him in my lineup, so I'll have to figure out a way. But second dude I like a lot, Odell Beckham Jr. I know he had a very disappointing week 1. But after seeing what Jordan Matthews did to these guys, that pass defense does not look good. I think Odell can replicate some Jordan Matthews magic, but have a better game against Atlanta here. They're on the road. Odell's at home. He's probably more comfortable. I really like Odell here. What are your options, though?
I think obviously Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham. I mean, I don't see any way that you could fade Julio Jones here either. Like if there was some way I could get all three of these guys in my lineup, I don't. That'd be ridiculous. Like. No one can cover Julio Jones. Julio Jones is like the Rob Gronkowski of wide receivers. Like, he's a mismatch for everyone. That's the only thing I have to say. I don't see any way Mukamura can stay with him the whole game. He's gonna do something.
I don't think so either. I just don't think he'll have a 30 point
game. No, I mean 30-point game is pretty much that's ridiculous. Like DeAndre Hopkins won't get 28 again or whatever he did. Like, but I think Julio Jones we're easily looking at another 20-point game. This New York Giants pass defense is not that good. It
No,
really is not that
no.
good.
Okay, that's fair.
Obviously Odell, I'm not fading him because he had one bad game.
Me neither.
I definitely don't think Tom Coughlin's going to leave him out of the game plan this time. That was bad. That was some bad coaching last
Yeah.
week. I think
Yeah.
Atlanta's pass defense is pretty trash.
I don't know. I don't know if you heard the post game report. Some little post game. I don't know if it was post game. I don't know what it was. Sometime this week, Coughlin was talking about how he regretted not involving Odell as much. So they have to involve him this week, man. That has to be on their. Probably. I would imagine Odell being used the same way Antonio Brown is used this week. Like he's going to get a bunch of screens. I expect Eli to look at him more often because he needs to stop looking at freaking Ruben Randle and Preston Parker, who dropped like 20 balls. Like, you got to give those shots to Odell. I think Odell is definitely going to bounce back.
I mean, Odell only had like 6 targets last week. That can't happen.
Yep.
I'm not an NFL football coach, but I can tell you when my best player is not getting looks, we're probably not winning the game. That's usually how it works. It's like having Drew Brees and running the ball to Mark Ingram 40 times a game.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong. So I don't think they're going to make that mistake again.
So one more thing before I wanted to look at Keenan Allen. I wanted to show you this crazy ass target.
Your dude from last week. Your little dark horse. You guys. Last week, if you guys remember, he said play Keenan Allen if you can. I think he's going to have a breakout game. Blah blah blah, and then this shit happens.
17.
15 receptions. Damn. That's 7.5 points. Right there. Just off receptions, he had 7.5 points. How many touchdowns did he have?
He didn't have any touchdowns. No touchdowns.
160 yards, 15 receptions.
Yes, he got 24 points last week. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I would play him, man. He's gonna get crazy targets. Fuck Cincinnati. I don't care about Drake Kirkpatrick or Adam Pack Trash Jones. You know, I'm going with Keenan Allen here. Like I don't know if I'm going with him. But I like him a lot.
Again, he's gonna like you said last week. He's gonna have a breakout season, the one that he should have had last year when everyone drafted him in their fantasy drafts, 3rd, 2nd round, like me, and then he was a dumpster by week 3. He was on everyone's waiver wire. Anyway,
let's go to the mid tier here. I'll name off 2 guys with very quick explanations. Landry, he's a target machine playing Jacksonville. I think that's all I really need to say. And then Cooks. I think Cooks finally has a really good game here against Tampa Bay. I think he definitely gets more targets. I think he finally gets a touchdown here. Not finally. It's only second week, but I think he gets a touchdown here against Tampa. Lots of targets, lots of receptions. Those are my 2 mid plays. Who do you like?
I completely agree with both those. I'll name 2. Jordan Matthews at 7,000. He's right now, let's be honest, he's the only wide receiver in Philadelphia. Yeah. Aguilar, did you see Aguilar even on the field? Like, he was getting shut down by no one. He looks so bad. He really didn't look that great this preseason. Jordan Matthews all the way. If anyone's catching touchdown passes, and it's either him or Ertz.
Yeah, him or
Jordan Matthews in for 15 points again. I don't see any reason why. And then T.Y. Hilton looking very, very questionable for this week. I'm probably going to go Andre Johnson or Moncrief.
Moncrief?
Or Moncrief. I'm going to go with either Johnson or Moncrief. You can pick which one you like more. Moncrief played pretty solid last week. He had like 9 yards.
Got a touchdown. I like that.
I think either of those bad versus the Jets, and just pass defense a little bit overrated, obviously. Yeah. In my opinion, Manziel made them look kind of bad on a lot of instances, although the Browns' offense is also garbage if you don't keep up with that. Name me one of their wide receivers, and I'll give you a $5 free MLB entry. Go.
That's
about it. It's only because he caught that touchdown, too, probably.
Yeah. And once you guys have your boy Gordon back, you guys will your receiving core will be very relevant.
Yeah, but until then, I mean, even Andre Hopkins, our most relevant wide receiver from last year, he's not even getting looks. I think he had 1 target.
Oh, and Taylor Gabriel. There's another one.
Yeah, Taylor Gabriel. He's kind of a small dude. he's not the fastest or the shiftiest for being like 5'7", so he's kind of just like.
But he catches though.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not like NFL quality though. Like if you get a 5'7" wide receiver, you want him to be either fast or shifty. He's like Darren. It's like if Darren Sproles wasn't fast or shifty, he wouldn't be in the NFL. Taylor Gabriel is like Darren Sproles split out wide, but he's not neither super fast or super shifty. Anyway,
I like how we just went off on a Browns receiver tangent.
The Browns
here,
are
but let's move on. I'm with you on Jordan Matthews. I probably will stick him in. I probably will stick him in my lineups. Let's keep on going down the line here. Are you playing any Dallas receivers? Like, do you like any of them?
You can play Terrence Williams. I think Terrence Williams is a really relevant play. He'll get a lot more looks this week.
Yes.
No Dez Bryant. And we both agree the offense is going through Tony Romo here.
Yep. I like the Beasley-nator, man. Cole Beasley.
I agree. I don't think he has any touchdown potential is really the problem. Or either he's going to get a touchdown or he's not going to get many yards. It's kind of like he's just like this split out running back. That's how I feel about Cole Beasley. They're just going to throw a lot of screens to him. He's kind of like their second running back.
I'm also on Steve Smith watch just because, like I said, their safeties are out. I feel like on them. I think Steve Smith can do it. DJ Hayden. I mean, he's DJ Hayden. Hasn't really showed anything, but they still shut down receivers. So I might be skeptical, but man, they're both their safeties are out. They're playing some nobodies out there. I think Smith can probably go up top, but that's about it there. I mean, is there anyone else you like down here?
Obviously, I said Moncrief at 6,000. Him or Andre Johnson. I mean, it's the Jet. Like Andre Johnson's gonna be taking up their best cornerback. Moncrief is fast, and they really don't got that much in that secondary. To be completely honest with you, I don't think that Jets defense is for real, especially without Rex Ryan there to coach. I just don't. I don't like the Jets secondary that much.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I definitely don't like it. I was thinking Kendall Wright, but I don't like Joe Hayden watch, so I'm off that. I like Fitzgerald though. I think he's pretty cheap. Looks like Palmer finally likes him. Like finally realized how much of a talent he is.
Where's Josh Brown price wise?
Oh, Josh Brown. Yeah, he's up here. Yeah. John Brown.
Yeah, they're both pretty much similar. They're both really similar plays. I think I don't really have a preference. I think either one is playable, but I think I'd shy away from it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not really sure what to think. I think one of them is going to get a touchdown, though. It just looked like they had some chemistry with Fitzgerald. I didn't really see that last year with Palmer. But, yeah. Wide receiver Pierre Garçon, though. I kind of want to touch on him real quick. He's getting his targets, man. He got a lot of targets last week. I believe he got 10, if I'm not mistaken. No, he got 8.
Sean Jackson went down early. A guy I said was going to have a 100-yard game, and then, of course, Sean's out now. Thanks. Anyway, Pierre Garçon has really never had a good rapport with Cousins. So
no.
I think it's going to be interesting because his targets have really declined compared to when RG3's at quarterback. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think since he's going to be forced to throw the ball to Pierre Garçon, I think Pierre Garçon's going to get the targets. It's going to be interesting to see how well they can do together. I think he could definitely hit 10-point value.
5.4K is definitely nice.
I agree.
Okay, I'm not falling into a James Jones trap. I'll wait for this shit to I'll wait to see if he goes off against Seattle, then I might have to play him the next week. But I'll wait. I'll be a victim.
I'd much rather go with Devontae Adams because
Devontae.
I'd rather go with Adams. I'd rather go with Devontae Adams. That's how I personally feel. I don't think I'm going to play any of them though.
Yeah, and then once you go down here, there's not really anything else left.
Right. It's basically garbage time. You pretty much lost if you're picking any of these guys.
All right, let's go to tight end. There's some nice value here at tight end. I'll let you start.
Well, I had to try because someone's got to try to do it. We got to try and hype up a Gronk pick since everyone wants me to say pick Gronk because he had 3 touchdowns last week. That's incredible.
Yep.
Last year, the Bills gave up 4 points a game to tight ends. That's not good looking for Rob Gronkowski. But also, the Patriots in the one game basically they played against him because the second game they had their backup in because they were in the playoffs already and no one played. They got in their first game 16 points against Bills at
Yeah.
tight end. So it's possible. 16. I mean, and Tom Brady's like 23-2 against them. I think he's 23-3 because they lost that game where he played one quarter
Uh-huh.
drive. But he's 23-3 or 24-2 against the Bills. You could possibly play him at 8,300. He's the fourth highest priced wide receiver / tight end. That's just incredible.
He's your fourth receiver, man. That's basically what he's going to come down to.
He's basically yeah.
There's so much value here.
Right, I completely agree. I think Gronk's a stupid play, but I at least got to try to make a way to. I got to make a case for him at least.
You know what's funny is that. You know what's funny? Like last week, every other tight end except Olsen, the one that everybody was on, had a good game. Like,
right.
Yeah,
Who we were also on, because why wouldn't you be on? The Jaguars against tight ends and linebackers, they're just garbage.
Yeah.
They're a trash heap. Greg Olsen, of course, he did get his touchdown nullified in the first quarter, so that also needs to be stated. But oh, what a terrible week for Greg Olsen. Fuck Greg Olsen, man. Jonathan Stewart didn't play that bad, but he can't. He's like Trent Richardson, but just way worse.
True.
He does not get any yards per carry.
Jason Witten, I think, is going to be the beneficiary of targets. Probably will have a really good game against Philly. If I have to lock it in, I think Jason Witten is probably my safest play at tight end.
At 6K, him or Bennett.
Yeah, and if Alshon Jeffrey isn't playing, then you got a tough decision here. But him and Bennett look good. Eifert has really good upside.
He's a little overpriced just because of that last week where he went off. That's the only problem I have.
But it looks like Dalton likes him, man. It looks like he's gonna give him his target. So I gotta give respect to Eifert. I might play him. I might not. We'll see. Cameron gets Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's terrible versus tight ends, and Cam Newton is not Jordan Cameron's quarterback last time I checked. So he could definitely see a touchdown pass and 60 yards this game.
Okay. Fair enough.
Heath Miller's a little. I'm not a Heath Miller fan. I hate the Steelers. He was definitely a good play last week just because of all the question marks that they have. Running back with D'Angelo Williams is a question mark. Obviously, wide receivers not playing. I still think he's playable this week. Kyle Rudolph definitely didn't do bad. And Big Ben is going to give this dude targets at 5,400.
Yeah,
he's a pretty safe play for a lower tier tight end.
Yeah, fair enough. Let me go with Zach Ertz. Man, if Zach Ertz is feeling good, I really, really love Zach Ertz. I feel like he'll get his touchdown. I feel like him and Jordan Matthews are the only dudes you can really trust. Love Zach Ertz if he's feeling good. He has to be feeling good.
Yeah, I mean Zach Ertz was probably playing at 70% last week with limited snaps, and he still put up 6 points. That's not good, but he's not playing at 100% and he's not on the field the whole game. He still got you 6 points. He could definitely get a touchdown against Dallas.
Well, if I hear some report that he's feeling 100%, I'm playing him. But a guy that I probably can't walk away from is my boy Jordan Reed here.
Yeah, especially with like I said, Kirk Cousins does not like to throw the ball to Pierre Garçon. He really doesn't. Pierre Garçon is not his number. His number one target is Jordan Reed. I'll break this news right now because why not? Jordan Reed is the number one wide receiver in Washington, in my personal opinion.
And you get him at 5K too. He's so cheap.
Yeah. And then if we're gonna go into the super values, I wouldn't go anything really below this. I think we both agree you could go against that awful Oakland defense. You could go Crockett Gilmore.
Crockinator from Colorado State University.
Yeah, the Rams.
4.5K. Got two catches last week.
He definitely has, touchdown 50-yard potential in this game. This Oakland defense versus tight ends is no joke. Terrible, beyond terrible. You could probably put me out there. I probably couldn't stop anyone, but I could probably do a decent job. They are terrible versus tight ends. There's just no sugarcoating it.
I have love for a Crockett Gilmore pick. I'm just not sure if I can do it.
Right. It's a very deep sleeper pick. God, GPP. you'll probably see like a 2 or 3% own in like the Millionaire Maker, maybe, yeah, probably about 2 or 3%.
All right, man.
He could do something. He could definitely do something. He's pretty cheap.
I'm gonna give this spot to you because this is where actually you shine in the kicker position. You got that McManus pick and you got a Josh Brown pick, which combined for about 36 points. I'll let you figure out who you want to pick a kicker.
I think probably have to go down to 4,500 again. You could go Crosby, although Seattle's actually really good for some reason against kickers. Josh Brown again, he's looking really good. Everyone's really on the kicker from New Orleans. I'm not really into playing that one. Coons for the Browns could be decent this week because the Browns are gonna drive the ball in this Tennessee defense. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But the Browns are, their red zone offense is not very good. Their offense in general is not very good.
Yeah.
If they get stopped, if they get a 3rd and 10 or even a 2nd and 10, they're probably not going to convert for a first down eventually. So he could see something. Lambeau's not a bad play versus Cincinnati.
He looks cheesy as fuck, but I mean, I wouldn't mind playing him.
Yeah, just Lambeau. I'm probably going with Brown though against Atlanta.
I like Brown too. I can roll that.
That's pretty much the dude this week. You could go Graham Gano at 4,600 against Houston because I think I don't know if Carolina's going to even get in the scoring position much, but if they do, it's going to be I think a largely field goals coming out of them.
Yeah, so let's look at defense, and I'm not going to punt it. I learned the hard way.
After we all told you not to.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. It's but you live and you learn.
Yeah, who'd you play last week? Just so the folks at home who are playing along keep the score.
Defense. I played the Saints defense and I got excited when they got a fumble recovery. That's how optimistic I was looking. So
did they do better than 0 points?
Yeah, they had 1 point.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 1 point.
That's better than I thought they did. If that makes you feel better. But yeah, please. Okay, you could actually do that this week though. That's one thing I did. That's one thing when after that game and everyone was ragging on Chris for that because he punted his defense. That's the one thing I said is, hey, at least you could try it again next week because it might actually work. Because
I had the roast session was going on me in the fucking chat.
This Tampa Bay offense is bad. It's pretty bad, and their special teams. Their special teams are special. I guess it's a good way to put it.
Who do you like at who's your top tier defense?
I'm picking Miami all day. Like I said, like I usually do for defense, I type in who are the Jaguars playing, and then I pick up that defense immediately. So, Carolina had 22 points last week. You'd take the touchdown they had away. They got 16 points. They had 22, but if you don't count touchdown, 16, that's a really good day. And the difference is pretty menial between would I rather have a defense I know is going to score 15 against Jacksonville, or would I rather have a team that's going to score anywhere between 12 and 6 with any of these other teams on the list except maybe 1 or 2?
Yeah, I'm all in for Dolphins. I'll probably pay up for them just to slap myself in the face. I like Tennessee Titans against your Brownies. I also like the same.
I don't blame you. Titans
and Browns. Fuck.
Yeah, we got to say it, boys.
I'll have to stop the live stream over that. But
we'll
Titans
later. Go on.
Titans and what's it called? Saints. Just those two. Saints fucked me over. Hopefully they don't fuck me over again.
I don't think the Texans are terrible. Carolina looks pretty bad. I don't see them scoring many, if any, touchdowns. Maybe 9 points, maybe 10 if they get a touchdown. 6, nothing too special coming there. And I'm not paying up for Seattle. I have to say it every week. They went off last week, I guess. How many touchdowns did they have? 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 2 touchdowns and got 19 points. You can do math. They only had 7 points if they don't get 2 touchdowns. You kind of want to stay away from the banking on teams to get touchdowns. So I usually think of it as they got 7 points last week. So I'm kind of skeptical of playing Seattle against Green Bay and the bad man that is Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. Okay, let's do this. Let's finally make our lineup. Let's give the people what they want. All right, quarterback. Are we paying up or are we going down?
I'll let you make the decision at quarterback because I'm pretty much not going to disagree with anyone. I like Tyrod. I'm going to either play Tyrod Taylor or Luck. I don't really care between that. You could play almost anyone else.
I love Foles. 6.5K. I just love that right there. So I'm gonna just go and drop in Foles. We'll work with it. All right, running back. I feel like we agree on Lynch. Do you want to grab Lynch?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with grabbing Lynch. I don't usually grab him. I think 100 yards, touchdown, easy money all day. Skittles. I'm grabbing Lynch. I think Lynch is a good play. Lynch or Forte, either of them are very good plays.
All right, let's grab a mid tier just to balance things out. Anyone you want to grab down here?
I'll let you go. I'll let you take this one. You can pick.
No, I already picked Foles, and we kind of agreed on Lynch. You gotta take one.
Go up a little bit. I mean, we could definitely, since we're not going Drew Brees, we could definitely go Mark Ingram here.
Yes.
That's who I thought you were gonna pick, so I didn't want to take him. I figured you were gonna pick Mark Ingram. That's why I wanted you to go. But now that we have Mark Ingram,
let's do this. Wide receiver. I'll pick a slightly cheaper option. I'll get the boy Jordan Matthews, 7K. I think I'm gonna have to take that easy money there. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna take here because I know we want one of the top dudes. I'm either gonna take Andre Johnson or Moncrief for now until we see what the rest of our lineup salary wise looks like. I just think Andre Johnson's too good of a pass. I don't see any way he has a 4-point game. I don't see any way he doesn't get at least a 10-point game. 6 receptions, 80 yards, be pretty safe. I think Moncrief. You could play either of them. I'm gonna play a GPP stack where I play both Moncrief, Johnson and Luck, because I just think Andrew Luck's gonna go Terminator on that Jets secondary. But let's take Andre Johnson for now.
Okay, let's go Andre Johnson. Let's go grab kickers and defense so we can kind of balance out the wide receiver and tight end. Kicker, we'll just go on Josh Brown because I feel like we'll probably agree there. So let's grab him.
And he's 4,500. You can't beat that. He's going to get you 9 points probably this week. Maybe 10, maybe 11, maybe 12.
I agree.
Value. If the kicker hits value, you did something right.
Yeah.
Dolphins. Yeah. We might need to shave. We're gonna need to shave some salary somewhere.
You think so?
Yeah.
We'll see. You wanna? So are we going for Jordan Reed or are we going for Mr. Safe here, Waiting?
We could pick either of them here. Jordan Reed's at 5K, correct?
Yeah.
Wrong. So we have 7,800 left over. We're probably gonna have to shave a running back. Let's shave one of our running backs, we should probably shave one of our running backs.
All right. So, do you think Ingram is essentially a cheaper Marshawn Lynch?
I never know what I'm gonna get out of Mark Ingram. That's the only thing that scares me.
All right, let's do it.
It's the only thing that scares me. Not much else. Like, he could definitely hit value. I think he's overpriced personally, but not by that much. Maybe he should be like 7,600 again, somewhere around there. Lamar Miller at 7,300, I think, is a better value. I wouldn't play him here. I think we need to go even cheaper.
I like Hyde, man. 7K.
For 1,000 more, or 1,000 less, I'd honestly rather play Hyde. Ivory's fine. I'm not going to play Ivory, though, just because I think the Jets are going to get blown out. I'm down with Hyde.
Hyde, and that probably gives us a lot more to work with. And then tight end. Let's. It's either Witten gives us 8.6.
It'll give us 8,300 left.
Oh yeah.
Or 86, sorry. I'm not good at math. What does it give us at wide receiver then?
That may get us Beckham's 100 more.
Okay, this is where it gets rough. We could shave Foles for Taylor. That would give us enough. Or we could shave one of our wide receivers down. We could shave Johnson down. That's fine.
I really like Moncrief, man. I'm kind of on board with that.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think they're both in line to get a touchdown this week, and Moncrief is the much more explosive guy. The only problem is he's not going to get the red zone targets that Andre Johnson is. Johnson is. he's pretty unguardable, I'd say.
If we go Brown, we can definitely get Witten.
Yeah, we could do that. We could even go Jordan Reed and improve anywhere else we want to.
Yes, we could also do that. But that's I mean, does that look money to you, or do you want to fix that?
There's Brown, Antonio Brown, Moncrief. I'd play this. I'm probably gonna throw it in. I might throw it in with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. That's
Yeah, you do like your boy Tyrod.
I do. I just especially if LaShawn McCoy's not playing, but Nick Foles could. Nick Foles. I mean, he can have those games. He had that whole year. He had a whole year where he was pretty disturbing. His stat line was pretty impressive.
Remember
So
that Oakland game where he threw like 7 touchdowns?
yeah. I mean, he can do that. It's not a good Washington secondary at all. You know, they might run the clock out with Morris like they did last week, although they're not as overmatched as they were. So they might let Kirk Cousins throw the ball a little more. But I like the lineup there. I like that.
All right, so we'll just agree here that that's our lineup. I mean, our lineup that we made on video, because the one that we probably make later is gonna look a little different.
Right. I'm gonna pay up at quarterback, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm gonna find value, but I'll figure it out.
Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. I mean, we'll try to do these next week, throughout the week. But we're gonna go watch Florida State, right?
We're about to watch Boston's college defense eat.
Yep.
As the youngins like to say, they are going to eat. Damn whippersnappers.
Yeah. All right, but that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. That's it, right?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at ClevelandGod. Tweet me your dankest meme, whatever you want to do.
And I'm at cgonzalez_16. And you can definitely find both of us there if you guys have any more questions. So, bye-bye.